All right, so have you ever, like, thought about, what if you could copy a person?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's like straight out of science fiction, right? Uploading your mind, living forever in the digital world. Wild stuff.
Totally. And today we are going on a deep dive to see what's actually possible and what's still in the realm of imagination.
Sounds good to me.
Our jumping off point is this super interesting article called Humans Can't Be Copied Digitally, the No Cloning Theorem.
Ooh, that title already has me intrigued.
Right. So to kind of unpack this whole thing, we need to touch on some uh, quantum mechanics.
Quantum mechanics. Everyone's heard of it, but like, do we really get it? It's pretty complex.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you could, break it down for us a bit. Like, what is quantum mechanics? What's the big deal?
All right, so basically, quantum mechanics is all about how stuff works at the smallest possible level. Like, think atoms and the itty-bitty particles inside them.
Okay, I'm with you so far.
The key is that these tiny particles, they don't act like the bigger things we see every day. They follow totally different rules, and those rules are what quantum mechanics tries to explain.
Interesting. So how does this connect back to copying a whole person?
Well, think about making a copy of a digital picture. It's easy, right? Copy, paste, done. A million perfect copies. That's the world we're used to.
Right, makes sense.
But in the quantum world, there's this thing called the no cloning theorem. Basically, it says you can't make a perfect copy of something if you don't know exactly what it is at the quantum level.
Okay, I think I get that. But what exactly does it mean to know something at that level?
Good question. It all comes down to something called a quantum state. Think of it like a set of instructions that describes everything about a particle, where it is, how much energy it has, how fast it's moving.
So like its whole identity.
Yeah, exactly. And the no cloning theorem says you can't just copy those instructions perfectly.
Huh, interesting. Is it like because they're so small and fragile?
It's more than that. You see, in the quantum world, things can be in multiple states at the same time, which is super weird to think about. It's called superposition.
Whoa, wait, multiple states at once. How is that even possible?
I know, right? It's one of those mind-bending things about quantum mechanics. And until you actually measure a particle, you don't know for sure which state it's in. So if you try to copy it before knowing its definite state, your copy is gonna be wrong.
So it's like the act of observing it or measuring it changes it.
Exactly.
Wow, okay, that's a lot to process. But I have a feeling this isn't just about, like, individual particles, right? This must have bigger implications.
You got it. And one of the coolest applications is in cybersecurity. The no cloning theorem is the backbone of something called quantum cryptography.
Quantum cryptography. Okay, now you have to tell me more about that. It sounds intense.
It's pretty amazing, actually. It lets you send messages that are basically unhackable.
Unhackable, seriously.
Seriously. Imagine you and I have a secret codebook. If someone tries to steal it, we'd know right away because it'd be missing.
Okay, I can see where you're going with this.
Quantum cryptography works in a similar way. Because of the no cloning theorem, anyone trying to sneak a peek at a message encoded using quantum principles, well, their snooping would actually change the message itself. They can't copy it without messing it up. It's like having an alarm that goes off the second someone even looks at your message.
So it's like the laws of physics are protecting our online secrets. That's pretty comforting in this digital age.
For sure.
Okay, but let's get back to our main question. Can we copy a human being? We're not just a jumble of particles, right?
Right. We're way more complicated than that. And that brings us to the whole question of consciousness, how our brains create thoughts, feelings, experiences, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the big mystery.
Exactly. And we still don't fully understand how consciousness works, but some scientists think quantum mechanics might be involved.
Oh, so are you saying our brains might be operating on quantum principles?
Potentially. And if that's true, well, the no cloning theorem throws a major wrench into the idea of making a perfect digital copy of a person. It suggests that you couldn't perfectly capture and copy the quantum state of someone's brain.
It's not just about mapping the brain's physical structure. It's about capturing those super delicate quantum states, too. Makes you wonder, though, even if we could somehow copy all of that, would that copy actually be the same person?
Whoa, that's a deep question. It's something philosophers have been debating forever, right? Does our identity only exist in the physical stuff of our brains, or is there something more, something you can't just copy?
Yeah, like a soul or something.
Right, exactly. If we could create a physically perfect copy of you, down to the last atom, down to the last quantum state, would that copy really have your memories, your personality, your sense of self? It really makes you think about what truly makes us unique.
Definitely makes you think. So, zooming out a bit from the quantum level, what does all this mean for the idea of copying a human being?
Well, it seems pretty unlikely, at least with what we know right now about physics and consciousness. We're not just data to be copied and pasted. There's something fundamentally complex about being human, something that goes beyond the physical arrangement of our brains.
So those sci-fi scenarios are maybe a bit further off than we thought.
Mhm.
But hey, at least we can shop online knowing our credit card info is safe, thanks to the weirdness of quantum mechanics.
Absolutely. Though it does leave us with some really big questions, like what does it even mean to be human? And what would the ethical implications be if we ever tried to copy a person?
Big questions indeed. And for anyone wanting to explore all this further, we highly recommend checking out the full article, Humans Can't Be Copied Digitally, the No Cloning Theorem. We'll link it in the show notes. Thanks for joining us on another deep dive.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Always a pleasure. Till next time.